Hey, good evening. Dan Fitzpatrick here, stockmarketmentor.com. First of all, to members, we're doing a live trading session tomorrow morning at the open. The first hour is when all the money's made or lost, depending on if you're doing it right or doing it wrong. So I'll be online at 9:15. If you're not a member, you can still get in on that session by just signing up for a free trial, and then you'll have access. It's free for 30 days. If you don't like what you see, that's okay. I don't take it personal because I don't know you. And so, you're welcome to cancel. So anyway, with ACAD, this is an interesting stock because it's in what's called a power play. The stock is up, was up at one point like really, really big from the bottom here, actually 100%, which, from this low back here to this high in a very short period of time, like less than 2 months. And so when the stock gaps up here and then it holds, that's a real impressive thing. And so what you're doing is, you're waiting for this stock to consolidate a little bit, which it did. And like if I'm trading this stock, and I didn't see this until this morning, actually Mark Minervini pointed it out at a trading workshop that I was at. And so if I had seen this stock back here, this is what I would have done. I would have drawn a trend line right up here, and I would have said, okay, well, like as I see it now, and you can always revise this later, okay, this is the high, this is the low, like this is the box that the stock is in. And so, maybe if it runs up here above 44, back out the top of the box, that could be good for a quick trade. But as I see the stock kind of peaked here, maybe we'll get a chance if the stock drifts here, it stays within the box, doesn't come back down here. But if it just kind of drifts around here and then gives us a breakout above this little intermediate high, maybe we can get another play. The idea is that the stock is up so much so quickly that the only way that the stock would actually move higher is if it was simply in demand. Even after such a big move, institutions are still interested in buying the stock. I mean, you could say, gosh, the stock should pull back. Yes, it should. It's up, quote, too much. It's up too much. Stock needs to come down. Boy, you got to get out of this stock. And then if somebody says, okay, yeah, well, what could disprove your thesis? What could disprove your reason for getting out of the stock? And you would say, well, if I got a call from all my buddies at the big mutual funds and they said, hey, Dan, you know what? We're actually still interested in buying this stock. Even though it's up above 40, we're still going to buy this puppy. I would say, well, if I got those kind of calls, then I would want to stay in the stock. Okay, well, nobody's nice enough to call me, and so I have to assume what they're doing by looking at the price of the stock. And my assumption that they are doing that would be, guess what? Wait for it, a breakout above this little intermediate high. So it doesn't happen, and I'm not doing anything with the stock. Couldn't care less. Couldn't care less. I've already set my alert here, not even looking at the stock. Totally forgot all about it. Couldn't care less, looking at something else, hey, there it is. So only when my alert gets hit am I looking at buying the stock. And then, of course, that's actually what we did today. And so now what are you going to do with this stock? You just kind of have to hold on for the ride. It's too late to buy it now when the stock's up 8 1/4. But what you want to do is watch the stock, and hey, if the stock actually pulls back a bit, and this was something I asked Mark about today. If the stock were to pull back here a bit, for several days, this is a daily chart. If it pulls back, then this would be a good thing. And this would be a secondary buy point. I mean, you're looking at this video saying, well, Dan, that's great. Nice job. Thanks for telling me what I could have done this morning, but I can't do now. Okay? Not really a good use of your time to be watching a video like this. But let's say you didn't do this. Let's say you're not in this trade. If the stock comes back here and kind of tests the breakout and then starts moving higher, you're buying the stock here because it's tested the breakout, and then you're keeping a pretty tight stop. So this is your second bite at the apple right here. So that's the trade that I would be looking at making on this. So anyway, that's it for this video. Members, I got your strategy session all teed up and ready to go, and I'll see you guys first thing tomorrow morning.